I woke up damn early today. I only had 6 hours sleep. My dad is very ill, and he wanted to sell his car, and he did say the guy was coming tomorrow. He sold it very quickly. He did say the guy was coming tomorrow, but I didn't think he meant like 8:30 in the morning. These predators, these economic predators, they're completely, restless. And unscrupulous. I'm still learning and experimenting with my alternative medicine techniques. It's going to take a while, but does seem to have taken the edge off of the deterioration in health that I've experienced in the past few weeks since moving into the house, because my tent went mouldy, so I couldn't remain in the tent, so I was forced to move indoors. I was planning to stay out there all winter, just stay out there permanently, but it didn't work out that way, and it's kind of good in a way, because now I've been kind of pushed into this line of research that perhaps I wouldn't have otherwise done if I'd have just stayed in my tent and played video games and stuff. So it's interesting how these things work out, right? Bit icy. It hit -5 the other night. I haven't rode much in the past few days. It's been very cold, and I've been focusing on doing my treatment, detoxification, preparation for treatment. It's a little bit quiet today, although it's still busier than it normally should be. Yeah, it's not too bad today. It's a Friday morning and it's very cold. It's like 2 degrees C. So there's 3 people on that path. So I watched a video yesterday, and the video was called something like "Gamer Gets Arrested for Mods," which is like when you modify a video game to add more stuff and change stuff to make it more interesting. and it's something that like loads of people do, and it's not like illegal or immoral in any way. So I thought, okay, is this some kind of like far right like project, like they've added some really offensive stuff into the game and like the police have somehow found out and then they've got in trouble for it, or that tree there never bulged up. That's new. That tree didn't look like that before. It never had that bulging shape. We'll get onto that. Yeah, so I thought, oh, is this something from China? Have they made like a Taiwan message mod or something? Is this something from North Korea or Iran or something? And I opened the video and it was like, no, it's from England. Of course it is. Of course it's in fucking England. And it turned out to be this, it was a female, right? A female that got arrested for doing something on their own computer. And basically, you know, they installed something into a video game that added like adult content into the game, and so at a party or so, I don't know, like something, like someone somehow found this and they got like, they reported it to the police, and apparently this person had a grudge against them or something. It's a very weird story, but this person had some kind of grudge against them, even though they were like at their house at like a party or something. And the police arrested this woman, and yeah, so it's not like she downloaded a video or something. This wasn't even like going on the certain site and like downloading something. This was like literally in a video game, and it's quite a popular video game as well. This is interesting, like all the path here is actually collapsed, or it looks like it's collapsed. There's a slope here that wasn't here before, and you can see a cracking, like a cracking here. This is very strange. Obviously when you cycle all the time you learn every single detail of the terrain. But yeah, this woman got arrested, and I'm assuming it was probably a young woman in her 20s or mid 30s, and yeah, and she got asked to go for like a voluntary interview, which is the same exact thing that happened to me like a couple of years ago. Although when they took my PC, that was actually 4 years ago, and then 2 years later they came to me and they were like, oh, we don't like what you've got on your PC. And I'm thinking like, well, why didn't you fucking tell me that like when I was in prison, like 2 years before? So yeah, the same thing happened to this woman, right? And I'm just thinking like, yeah, we know what their game is. We know your game. I really think Jesus is coming for these motherfuckers. He's coming back. I really think so. And some of us were essentially shown what's going to happen, you know. This path's on a bit of a slope as well, I notice. Is it always like that? Some of us were given signs as to what's coming, but they were kind of like cryptic and subtle. Yeah, Jesus coming back for these motherfuckers. You know, I just hope that Jesus agrees with me that this is a complete legal overreach, you know. I mean, in this kind of situation, it's more like easy to argue either way, but like with a lot of stuff that's going on now, it's just completely obvious what they're doing, so you just kind of have to reply that retroactively and more broadly and think, yeah, this is bullshit. And trust me, like, no one ever like agreed to any of this shit. Like, no one ever really like voted or anything, like even had a discussion about this stuff. It was just made into a law without, you know, in a private club in the House of Lords or whatever, like 12 years ago or something. But then it wasn't even that, it was like they were changing existing laws without, like, you know, it wasn't a new law, they just changed old ones to reflect the new technology. God, this is rock solid. This ground is rock solid. It's so weird to drive on this. So weird to ride on this. That's melted there.
It's changing out there. Just like last time. There's a storm coming, Harry. We'd all best be ready when she does.
And some of us were essentially shown what's going to happen, you know. This path's on a bit of a slope as well, I notice. Is it always like that? Some of us were given signs as to what's coming, but they were kind of like cryptic and subtle. Yeah, Jesus coming back for these motherfuckers. You know, I just hope that Jesus agrees with me that this is a complete legal overreach, you know. I mean, in this kind of situation, it's more like easy to argue either way, but like with a lot of stuff that's going on now, it's just completely obvious what they're doing, so you just kind of have to reply that retroactively and more broadly and think, yeah, this is bullshit. And trust me, like, no one ever like agreed to any of this shit. Like, no one ever really like voted or anything, like even had a discussion about this stuff. It was just made into a law without, you know, in a private club in the House of Lords or whatever, like 12 years ago or something. But then it wasn't even that, it was like they were changing existing laws without, like, you know, it wasn't a new law, they just changed old ones to reflect the new technology.
Oh, hi there! Did you just wake up? Whoa! Connie's Connie!
God, this is rock solid. This ground is rock solid. It's so weird to drive on this. So weird to ride on this. That's melted there. I've gone from spending almost all the time outdoors to spending like almost all the time indoors. And about Jesus and Christ consciousness versus Satan, I just I wonder if that really is, you know, the ultimate meaning of existence, of life, you know, of spirit, or if there is, you know, if it's just one little experience. I don't know, it just seems too simple. Seems too simple. Yeah, it's a profound metamorphosis for a person to make, but I don't know. I do wonder about these things. I'm kind of like nihilistic, even when I'm the kind of person that, like, even when I go through a spiritual transformation, I completely change all my views about everything. I'm still like nihilistic. I'm kind of weird like that, I guess. I try my best to see the perspective of the Christians. I know a lot of people now who are basically, you know, Christian, even though they don't broadcast it openly and shout about it. That when you get to know that, when you talk to them or observe them for long enough, you realise that, yeah, they are actually like Christians, even though they're into they have a lot of different beliefs and things they talk about. They ultimately have a faith in, like, Jesus and God, you know. And that's not quite me, but I can see why they I can see why it has an appeal for them. I can see why they can find reasons to believe in it, you know. It's not even just belief, like, belief makes it sound like it's a kind of logical thing that you can like research and stuff. For them it seems to be more than that. And I do suspect it's also more than just programming. It's not that they've been brought up like that. It's not just that they've been brought up like that. Yes, everything in this world now does seem to be subservient to this Jesus, versus Satan thing. Everything you see happening is, related to that. And it's very easy to see now, to see it in that lens, once you're on our level. Now, what is beyond that? Is there anything beyond that? That's what I'm kind of more interested in. But, I'm not going to be disrespectful to God or Jesus, assuming that, that's real and they are legit, because, you can't tell, I am very careful though, I'm very skeptical of authority, because I think you could be tricked by, a simulation or something that's, pretending to be a god or something, but it's actually just another spirit, or it's the architect of the Matrix. Some say, the demiurge. But I see the demiurge as the same thing as Satan, though. I see the demiurge as being the same thing as Satan, which is different than Christ, So, yeah, I kind of reject all authority, so it's going to be difficult for me to it's pretty clear that this material world, the material world that we thought we lived in, and all of this stuff is just irrelevant now. Anyway, I'm gonna edit this, and I'm gonna show the next part of the talk that I had was it a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, with my friend from America and my brother Dan. Shall I go down through the woods? I don't know. These new play parks are really ugly, by the way. I think they've installed these in quite a lot of places in the past couple of years. It's trying to get people into that futuristic mindset, and it's just disgusting. Yeah. I'm so sick of seeing like Teslas around the place now. Let's pop some music on. Metropolitas 163. Yeah, they want to build another 160 houses. It's actually near the quietest exit of town. The quietest end of town. yeah, the end of the side of town, the side of town that's been unaffected by us. Curse these people. Yeah, I like to come up here because this is the only part of town that hasn't been. I like to ride along this road because, you know, this is the only part of town that hasn't been affected by new built houses and much heavy traffic. Oh, it sucks that like the purpose of life it seems to be to learn that like the world is kind of pointless and worthless. Some would say that you need evil to have a purpose, to be, you know, it's like they said in Fate, you know, it's like secretly you wish that like something bad will happen so that you can be a hero, you know. Kotomino Kirei said that, you know. Based Kotomino Kirei. Yeah. Yeah, I love Fate and Steins Gate and stuff like that. Lord of the Rings, all that kind of stuff. Dragon Age, Baldur's Gate, things like that. Final Fantasy X is pretty good as well. All that kind of stuff. Code Geass is good as well. Those are all my favourite things. But yeah, I mean, Yeah, but I mean, Satan seems like he just has complete power here. I've just looked at that notice, and I heard a rumor that they were going to build more houses over there. And yeah, I just looked on that sign, and they want to build like 160 new houses. Basically, in between this village that basically joins onto our town called Maids Morton over there, and the reservoir, which is over there. You can just about see it from here. Right at the back there in those fields, they want to build 160 new houses. So I like to come down here because this is the only part of town that hasn't really been affected yet. This road out of town is like basically the only place that hasn't really been affected by new build houses and increases in traffic from overpopulation and stuff. But now they're building 160 new houses there. I don't think it will affect this road too much, but it's really difficult to say. I mean, depends how they're going to access the construction site. It could have construction things and traffic lights on this road which will absolutely ruin it. And she, yeah, Satan just has complete power here. Hello. So what's the point of, creating an enemy if like we don't have any power against the enemy anyway? It's like, feels like maybe even our relationships with other people have no meaning, does it go that far, if the point of life is to learn to devalue the world. I mean, how does that really align with the Christian perspective? I mean, it doesn't. You're supposed to kind of help people, but you're also supposed to believe in heaven and being not of this earth, be in this earth but not of this earth. It's a bit of a confusing message, you're supposed to help people and stuff. But like it says, Satan controls the material world. And I also believe in reincarnation. I believe in reincarnation, for many reasons. So how can there be a heaven and a hell, if there's reincarnation? None of it ever really made much sense to me. That's why I'm not religious. Religion is the lie of the region, and yet, I don't know. This guy I watched says he's like encountered something which he thinks was Jesus. Like, he said it really seemed to be like unbelievably undescribable, this thing that he experienced, and he thinks it was the real deal. It's like when a whole group of like stupid people like believe in something, I just think, yeah, that's not for me. Such a weird world we find ourselves in. I know that this isn't like all there is and all there will ever be, but it's kind of a waiting game. It's just waiting for the end, waiting for change. kind of feel like, what am I supposed to do? And it seems like perhaps I'm supposed to try and be a healer or something. I don't know. At least for now. At least in my personal sphere. There's a person there. Yeah, it's like, does that extend even to like other people, you know, this detachment? Because from what we can tell, like, most people could be NPCs in this, you know, maybe they have a soul but they don't have any like true spiritual nature. It's like Face Diaper said, like, I think, you know, you've had like 4 years to figure out like who's who, you know, who's really, you know, what are they really like, you know. Well, come summer I'll hopefully be doing many long trips far away from this fucked up place. We'll see. But yeah, these bastards have destroyed the physical world. You know, England, well, a lot of them, just the whole world in general. Wildlife, nature, natural ways of life. And now they want to now they want to stop people from enjoying the imaginary world as well. So fuck them. I will never forgive them. Yuri Sanzo. Fuck them. Yeah, they've pushed people into, they've socially engineered and changed the landscape and the economy and the culture, and they've pushed people into this indoor lifestyle. You know, stuff like 5G, technology is a choice, you know, AI, 5G is a choice, and it's a choice that's being made by other people at our expense and pushed onto us. And yeah, so that, especially the younger generations now, the teenagers now, very indoor centric lifestyle. in front of these screens, and they're not even proper computers, they're like smartphones and stuff. And then these like police and judges and these politicians, they want to dictate, you know, what people can enjoy in that sort of cursed lifestyle indoors. You know, it's like Voldemort after he's defeated by Harry the first time. He's like drinking the unicorn blood. It's like that cursed lifestyle, and they want to dictate what people can enjoy and stuff, and think what the people can think. Fuck you, fuck them. Seriously, fuck them. Oh. Oh my god, there's so many. Maybe I'll go have a look in this field. I don't think there'll be many people standing outside today, will there? Alright, one of them goes straight across. One goes right. Looks like it goes through a bunch of trees, but I can't see the trees. Try and look where it goes. Seems like it's frozen.